To be or not to be?
Arrows! Up on the slings and arrows!
In them!
Take arms! In the heartache! You die! You drink!
No more!
That sweet!
That sleep of death!
To be or not to be? That is the question.
All the world's a stage.
All the world's a stage.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages.
At first the infant, kneeling and Cupid in the nurse's arms.
And then the schoolboy, with satchel and shining morning face, creeping unwillingly to school.
And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow.
And then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the par.
Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrels, seeking the bubbled reputation, even in the cannon's mouth.
And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good teeth and lies, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, spectacles on night, and pouch on side, his youthful hose well safe, a world too wide for his shrunk shape. And his big manly voice, turned again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound.
Last thing of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childlessness and mere oblivion. Sun's teeth.
Sun's eyes. Sun's taste.
Sun's everything, yeah.
Then why? Why care to live or die? Why care to delay that inevitable putting out of the candle? To be, why? Not to be, why?
To be or not to be?
My verse in time to come, if it were filled with your most high deserts, though yet heaven knows it is but as a tomb, which hides your life and shows not half your parts. If I could write the beauty of your eyes, and in fresh numbers number all your graces, the age to come would say, this poet lies, for such heavenly touches ne'er touched earthly faces. So should my papers, yellowed with their age, be scorned like old men of less truth than tongue, and your true rights be termed a poet's rage, and stretched meter of an antique song? But were some child of yours alive that time, you should live twice, in it and in my rhyme.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines by chance, or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag that thou wanderest in his shade when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe,
Or eyes can see,
so long lives this,
and this is life to thee.
are times when the words of love are spoken too late. When all that returns the mournful words of the living is the cold silence of the grave.
When the sweet session of silent thoughts, I summon up remembrances of things past. And I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought. And with old woes, new wail. Oh, my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye and used to flow? For precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, moan of expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve its grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er sad account or bemoaned moan. Oh, which I knew pain as if not paid before. But if I think on thee, oh, my dear friend, all losses are restored, and sorrow's end.
Enough! The mind can endure so much sadness in an hour. Come, and we shall show the lighter side of love. We may recall the tale of Beatrice and Benedict from Much Ado About Nothing. Now there was an ill beginning.
For aught that I could ever read, could ever hear by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth.
Good point. Of course, true love never did run smooth. Which is why, if the lady be fair, I am well. If the lady be chaste, I am well. If the lady
I wonder that you would still be talking, Signor Benedict, when nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Why is it possible Disdain should die when she hath meat such food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Why, courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you ever come in her presence.
Well, then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I loved of old ladies, only you accepted, and I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to all women, lest they be troubled with a pernicious suitor. Well, I thank God and my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear a dog bark at a crow than have a man swear that he loves me.
Well, God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
Oh, well, scratching could not make it worse to such a face as yours was.
How would my horse have the speed of your tongue? Keep your way, in God's name I am done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you old.
Yes, indeed. It seems that both these quick-witted souls were determined never to marry. Prince Pedro of Aragon has just secured the hand of Hero to his young Lord Claudio. We're at a feast where a plot is being set against them.
time as always. Yeah, here you go. See you.
Count Claudio, when mean you go to church? Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence any time too brief to have all things answer my mind.
How come, Claudio, you shake your head at so long of breathing? I warn thee, the time will not go dully by us. For in the interim, I will undertake one of Hercules' labors. That is to bring Signor Benedict and Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one for the other. I would fain have it imagined, doubt not but to fashion it. If you three will give the assistance, that I shall give the direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours. Come with me, I'll give you my drift.
And so the ruse begins. A day later, Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato follow Benedict into the garden where he is found reading.
See what Benedict hath hid himself?
Very well, my lord.
Come hither, Leonato!
What was it you told me of today? Your niece Beatrice in love with Signor Benedict.
Oh, aye, stalk on. The foul sits.
No, I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she has all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Since the wind in that corner, maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Oh, Lord, counterfeit? There never was counterfeit of passion that came so near to the life of passion as she discovered it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she? Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. My daughter told you how.
Oh, she did indeed.
How? How, pray you? Oh, you amaze me! I would have thought her spirit to be invincible against all assaults of affection. Has she made her love known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I? Says she. And so often countered him with scorn. Write to him that I love him. Down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience. Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not. And she will die ere she make her love known to him. And she will die if he woo her, rather than make one breath of her accustomed crossness.
'Tis very possible he'll scorn it, for as you know, he hath a contemptible spirit.
Oh,
it's just a bird. Let it cool the while and hear more of it from your daughter. I do love Benedict well. Only wish he would examine himself to see how unworthy he is so good a lady.
my lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let the same net be spread for her, but that for your daughter and her gentlewoman to carry. Let's send her to call him for dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born, They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why? It must be requited. I may chance have some odd quirks in the remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain are a man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think that I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. Had it been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yes. Just so much as you may take upon a nice point. You have no stomach, signor? Fare you well. Oh, indeed.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that.
And so Benedict falls headlong into the shift. But what of the Lady Beatrice? She must be led in as well. Her cousin Hero, with the help of a waiting gentlewoman Ursula, will see to that.
Where is she? But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them if they loved Benedict to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. For she cannot love, nor take no ship, nor project an affection, for she is self-endeared.
Surely I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she'll make sport at it. Yet tell her of it and hear what she will say.
No. Rather, I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion.
Oh, do not your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy always accepted, my dear Claudio.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in.
What fire has been my ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt farewell, as they did pride adieu. Why no glory stands behind the back of such as these? Rather, Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. For if thou dost lovest, my kindness shall incite thee, binding up our love into holy band. For of the same, thou dost deservest. And I believe it, better than reporting me.
What a grand scheme, as I'm sure you can imagine. imagine, both Benedict and Beatrice fell headlong into the plan of Don Pedro, and after much ado about nothing, they were happily married.
But sometimes it doesn't work out quite so happily. Sometimes the man can be even more disagreeable, and the woman much more the shrew.
Good morrow, Kate, for that's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard but something hard of hearing? They call me Catherine that do talk of me.
Well, you do lie in faith, for you are called Plain Kate and Bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Cursed, and therefore, Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, and take this of me, Kate of my convolution. Hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtue spoke of, thy beauty sounded, myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved in good time, that him that moved you hither removed thee hence.
Alas, good Kate, I will not burden thee, for knowing you to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, yet heavy as my weight should be.
Come, you wasp. In faith you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
Who knows not where a wasp wears his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Hey, come again. Good Kate, I am a gentleman.
That's I'll try.
Swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
So make you lose your arms. If you strike me, you are no gentleman, and if no gentleman, why then no arms.
Now, Kate, you must not look so sour.
'Tis my fashion when I see a crab.
Well, here's no crab, therefore look not sour.
There is.
Then show it to me.
Had I a glass, I would.
St. George, I am too young for you.
Yet you are withered.
Oh, 'tis with cares.
I care not.
Kate, in sooth, you scape not so.
I'd chafe you if I tarry, let me go.
No, not a whit.
Go, you beast!
For I find you passing gentle. 'Twas told me you were rough and coy and sullen, but I find report to be a very lie. For you are passing courteous, pleasant, gamesome, as sweet as springtime flowers, yet slow in speech. But why doth the world report that Kate doth a limp? Oh, slanderous world!
Go, fool! Where did you learn all this goodly speech?
Oh, it is extempore. From my mother, wit.
A witty mother, witless else her son.
Well, am I not wise?
Yes, keep you warm.
Marry, so I mean, sweet Catherine, in thy bed. So all this plain chat aside. Your father hath consented that you will be my wife. Your dowry agreed on, and will you, nill you, I will marry you. For I am he and born to tame you.
What a piece of work is man!
Do you know what a man is? Is not birth, beauty, good shape, discourse, manhood, learning, oh, gentleness, virtue, youth, and liberality, the spice and salt that season a man?
What? What a piece of work is man? How noble in reason. How infinite in faculty. Full and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world.
How affects this the question at hand, when anyone may still stand and ask, shall I be or shall I not be?
not to be. That is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them.
End them.
To die.
Die.
To sleep no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die.
Die.
To sleep. To sleep, perchance. To dream. Aye, there's the rub. For it is in that sleep of death what dreams may come. When we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life.
Assassination can tremble up the consequence and catch with its surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. This even-handed justice doth commend the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips.
Yet here's the spot. Out, damn spot, out, I say. 1, 2, 5. It is time to do it. Oh, hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and afeard. What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man could have had so much blood in him? The fatal flies, where is she now? When will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that.
again. Banquo's buried, and he cannot come out of his grave. Tibet, Tibet, there's a knocking at the gate. Come, 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 give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. Tibet, Tibet. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. Lord and Lady Macbeth. A story of a love and a lust for power. A story that ultimately ends in tragedy, insanity, and death. And so, as we love, we may also be. Many times, love is lost through death, even when that death is brought about by lies and deceit. Consider Othello and his lady Desdemona.
It is the cause. My soul, let me not name it to you. You chaste stars. It is the cause. I'll not shed her blood, yet she must die, else she'll betray more men. Put out the light. And then put out the light. After I have plucked thy rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. Its needs must wither. All smelting on a tree. Oh, balmy breath, thou dost almost persuade justice to break her sword. One more. Be thus, when thou art dead, and I will kill thee and love thee after. One more. And that's the last. For I must weep, but they are cruel tears. The sorrow's heavenly.
Who's there? Othello.
Aye, Desdemona.
Will you come to bed, my lord?
Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona?
Aye, my lord.
If you bethink yourself of any crime, unreconciled as yet to heaven and grace, pray for it straight.
Alack, my lord, what may you mean by that?
We'll do it, and be brief. I will walk by. I will not kill that unprepared spirit.
Talk of you killing?
I do.
Then heaven have mercy on me.
Amen, with all my heart.
If you say so. I hope you will not kill me. Why I should fear I know not. Since guiltiness I know not. But yet I fear.
Think! on thy sins.
I will so. What's the matter?
The handkerchief which I so loved and gave thee, thou gavest to Cassio.
No, by my life and soul. Send for the man and ask him.
Oh, sweet soul, take heed. Take heed of perjury. Thou art on thy deathbed.
Aye, but not yet to die.
Yes, presently, therefore, confess thee freely of thy sins. Thou art to die.
I never did offend you in my life. I never loved Cassio, but with such generosity of heaven as I might love. I never gave him token.
By heaven, I saw the handkerchief in his hand. O lying woman, thou dost stone my heart. I saw the handkerchief.
He found it then. I never gave it him. Send for him hither. Let him confess her truth.
He hath confessed.
What, my lord?
That he used thee.
How? Unlawfully?
Aye.
He will not say so.
No. No. His mouth is stopped.
Oh, my fear and terror. What, is he dead? Oh, alas. He is betrayed, and I undone. Ah.
Weepest for him before my face!
Oh, banish me, my lord, but kill me not.
Nay.
Kill me tomorrow. Let me live tonight.
Nay, what's being done, there is no strife.
But while I say what's better,
Being done, there is no pause. What noise is this? Not dead. Not yet dead. I that am cruel, yet am merciful. I will not keep thee linger in thy pain. So,
Sometimes love is lost simply because one pushes the other away. We are set in the castle of Elsinore, and Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark.
How does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long longed to read a little. I pray you now receive them.
No. No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed that made these things more rich, their perfume lost. Take these again, for to the noble mind which gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, Your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. The power of beauty can sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can transform beauty into his likeness. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I love you not!
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. To a nunnery. Farewell. Or if thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. To a nunnery go, and quickly. Or if thou dost marry, marry a fool. For honest men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery. Farewell.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, aye, tongue sword, the expectancy and rose of this fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers quite down, and I of ladies most eject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows. Now see, the noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells that jangled out of time, and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to see what I've seen, see what I see.
Shakespeare had many talents. One of his best was changing the moods with lightning quickness, like this scene with Purvis and Thisbe from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Here we'll see the commoners putting on their show for the royals. And so we begin.
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wander on till truth make all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady Thisbe is certain.
Yes,
And this man, with line and rough cast, doth present wall.
And this man, with lantern, dog, and bush of thorn, presented moonshine. And this grisly creature, Lion by name, let lion, moonshine, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here wall does remain.
In this same interlude it doth befall that I, once Snout by name, doth present a wall, and such a wall as I would have you think, that had in it a crannied hole, or chink, through which the lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper secretly very often.
Would you desire lime and hair to speak better?
'Tis the wittiest partition that ever I heard discourse.
Pyramus draws near the wall. Silence.
Oh, grim look night! Oh, night with hue so black! Oh, night whichever art when day is not! Oh, night, oh, night, oh, night! Alack oh, sweet and lovely wall. Show me thy king to blink through with mine eye. Oh, thanks, courteous wall. Job shew thee well for this. What see I? No Thisbe do I see! Oh, wicked wall! Through whom I see no bliss! Cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me!
If thou strikest me again, I will cut thee.
The wall, methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
Indeed.
Very true. Oh, God help us.
O wall, O sweet and lovely wall, how often thou hast heard my moans. For parting my sweet Pyramus and me, how often I have kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit in thee.
Ah! I see a voice! Now will I to the cheek to spy, and I will him at Thisbe's face. Oh! Oh, Thisbe!
My love! Thou art my love, I think!
Think what thou wilt, I am. Thy love is great. And thy glamour.
Limander.
Oh, thank you. And like Limander, I am trusty still.
And I like Helen, until the fates me kill.
Oh, kiss me to behold this vile.
I kissed the wall, not his lips at all.
Will thou meet me at Nanny's tomb?
Ninnies.
Oh, at Nanny's tomb.
Tide life, tide death, I come without delay.
And thus I, Wall, my part discharged so, and being done, Wall away doth go.
This is the silliest stuff that ever I did hear.
Very true.
Look, it's the hideous beast.
You, Harry.
Ladies, you whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on the floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion, rough and wild his rage, doth roar. Doth roar!
Very scary. Nice kitty.
A very gentle and courteous beast, to be sure.
The very best at a beast that e'er I saw.
Very true.
This lantern doth the horned moon present.
He should have worn the horns on his head.
He is no crescent, and his horns are invisible within the circumference.
This lantern doth the horned moon present. Myself, the man of the moon, do seem to be.
See, this is the greatest error of them all, for he should be put into the lantern. How else is he the man in the moon?
Very true, but I am weary of this moon. Would he would change.
Proceed, moon.
Stay away. Thank you.
All that I have to tell you is that this lantern is the moon. This thorn bush, my thorn bush, and this dog, my dog. That dog.
Yes. Thank you.
Why, all these should be put into the lantern, for all these are in the moon. Indeed, what a great error.
Very true.
Silence here, comfortless thing.
my heart, but I pity the man.
I pity the audience.
Oh, wherefore, nature, didst thou lines frame? Since mine thou hast here, deflowered, my dear, which lived, which loved. That looked with cheer, calm tears and confound. Out sword and wound! Out sword and wound! Oh, blast!
What man is this?
Out sword and wound! The pap of Pyramus, I, the left pap, will hop, doth hop.
The other leg.
Oh, thank you. Thus I die. Thus I die. Oh, now I am dead. Oh, now I am fled. Oh, my soul is in the sky. Oh, today. Thy tongue, lose thy light. Moon, oh moon, take a flight. Oh moon, take a flight. Now where were we? Oh, yes I know. Oh, now I die. Get on, Wicket!
Yes, but how perchance Moonshine is gone before Feasby comes back and finds her lover?
She'll find it by starlight. Here she comes. Her passion and the flame.
Methinks she should not use a long one for such a Pyramus. I pray she will be brief, and like some.
What? Asleep, my love? What, dead, my dove? Oh, sweet Pyramus, arise! Speak! Speak! Quite dumb. A tomb must cover these sweet eyes, these lily lips, this cherry nose, these yellow castle cheeks. Are gone. All lovers make moan. And sisters three, come unto me. With eyes as pale as milk.
Come, trusty soul, in my breast imbrue. And thus farewell, friends. Thus these be ends. Adieu. Adieu. Goodbye. Adieu.
Jungle Boy, I don't know. Can you put this away? Come on, very stylish. For a minute, Joseph. We're going to show you something. I need corn. What? Here for a minute, Joseph. Ready? This hurts, okay? A lot. Ah! Do you like that feeling? Oh! Ah! Come on, come on! Come on, back to the bottle. Hey, come on! Wait! Give me a minute. All right, bro. That'd be a great time for a How about a dance? A dance! A dance! I love a dance! Dancers! Woohoo!
gentle sin is this, my lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy Palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips, and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou us faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by thine my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips? O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Kissed by the book. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form. Fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo. But else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my hater light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange.
The underlying question of the night's festivities is simple: to be or not to be. Shakespeare announced that about 200 or 300 years ago, and it's been resounded through the ages ever since. Now, justice dictates that we show you the entire play. It takes about 4 hours. It's about 9 o'clock, so everybody sit back.
Excuse me. We've only got about 10 minutes, so you're going to have to move this along, okay? Are you insane?
All right,
10 minutes?
we're going to do Hamlet, Prince of Denmark in about 10 minutes, so here we go.
Something was rotten in the state of Denmark. The king was dead, poisoned by a serpent in his own orchard. The poison had spread. His brother Claudius was now king. His widowed queen, eager to be married again, was now this brother's wife. The dead king had also left a son, Prince Hamlet, who was grief-stricken over the loss of his father and the quick remarriage of his mother.
My sometime sister, now my queen, whom I have taken a wife. How now, Hamlet? Why doth cloud still hang over you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, thou knowest 'tis common. All that lives must die.
Ay, madam, it is come.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us.
I shall in all my best obey you.
Why, 'tis a fair and lovely reply. Come, madam.
Frailty by name is woman. A little month ere those shoes were old when she followed my poor father's body. Why,
Even she married with my uncle. Break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
Horatio.
My lord, I think I saw the king your father yesterday.
The king, my father? Let me hear it.
2 nights together, my men encountered a figure like your father, and I with them last night kept watch where the apparition appears. I knew your father.
I will watch tonight. Perchance we'll walk again.
Ophelia, the daughter of the king's chamberlain, Polonius, feels the pain of the king's death as well. She is deeply in love with Prince Hamlet, but her brother Laertes, bound for France, warns her of Hamlet's intentions.
Hello, Ophelia. As for Hamlet, perhaps he love you now. But you must fear his will is not his own.
I shall this good lesson keep.
What? That here, Laertes! Aboard, for shame! And these ye precepts in thy memory keep. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. This above all. To thine own self be true. Thou canst be false to any man. Farewell. Farewell.
Farewell. Farewell, Ophelia.
This my blessing season indeed. Farewell.
Farewell. Farewell, Ophelia. Remember well what I have taught you.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath told you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
'Tis told me he hath very oft given private time to you.
He hath, my lord, made many tenders of his affections to me.
Ophelia, do not believe his vows. I would not from this time forth have you give words or talk to the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you.
I shall obey.
That night, Hamlet is keeping watch at the sentry post with Horatio and the guards. It is a nipping air, as Hamlet notices an eerie stirring.
Angels, defend us. I'll call thee Hamlet. King! Father!
I am thy father's spirit. Doom to this foul crime done me is purged away. List, O list, if ever thou didst love thy father.
God.
Revenge his foul murder.
Murder.
Murder, most foul, strange, unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I may sweep to my revenge.
'Tis given out that while sleeping in my orchard I was serpent stung. Let it be known that that serpent that stung me now wears my crown.
My soul, my uncle.
Hamlet swears to avenge his father, and cloaks his newfound knowledge in madness. Ophelia, who observes his madness, runs to her father. She tells him of Hamlet's condition, and Polonius, believing it due to Hamlet's love for Ophelia, goes directly to the king. The two divide the plan. Polonius goes to Hamlet to try to figure out the Dixon state of mind.
Do you know me, my lord?
Oh, excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, look to it.
Still harping on my daughter. He is far gone.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream.
wisdom.
My lord, the players have come.
I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have been so struck to the soul by the scene that they have presently proclaimed their malefactions. I shall play something like the death of my father before mine uncle. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of a king.
Hamlet assembles the king, the queen, and the entire royal court for a play that he names
The Mousetrap.
Light! Give me light!
Polonius, what shall be done regarding Hamlet?
He will come straightly. Tell him his deeds have been too broad to bear with. I'll still lean here.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
No, mother. You have my father offended!
What? Oh!
How now? A rat!
Oh, what a bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed? Almost as bad as kill a king and marry his brother!
Hamlet is sent to England by Claudius after the murder. During his absence, Ophelia loses her mind because of her father's death, and later drowns in a brook near Elsinore.
Laertes, upon hearing of his father's murder and sister's death, returns to Elsinore demanding justice. News of Hamlet's imminent returns sets Laertes and Claudius to plotting. They devise a scheme to lure Hamlet into a duel with Laertes. There, Laertes will cut him with an envenomed sword, and Claudius will offer him a chalice.
A wager is put on both the heads of Laertes and Hamlet in a duel in front of the royal court. Unknowing of the plot against him, Hamlet agrees to fight.
I loved you ever. 40,000 brothers could not make up my sum.
But for my father and my sister, I cannot forgive thee. May the devil take thy soul.
My lords, 3 hits declares the winner.
Come. Come again. Come again.
A hit! A very palpable one. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Give him a drink.
Set it by a while. I'll play this bout first.
Oh, yes, I do confess it!
Hamlet, the queen drinks thy fortune.
Gertrude, don't drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
Ah! Come on. Come again.
Look, the queen.
Villainy. Treachery, seek it out!
The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, untipped, poisoned. The queen's poisoned, and the king's to blame.
The point and venom too? And venom to thy work.
Hamlet. Hamlet! Trade forgiveness with me. Mine and my father's death go not upon thee, nor yours on me. Please.
I will follow thee. Wretched queen, adieu. I am dead, Horatio. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright. To the unsatisfied.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince.
I'll pray you to remember the fort.
In the previous scene, Macbeth's porter thought that he was attending the gates of hell itself. Even in the light of humor, there's darkness. But our question still remains, shall I be or shall I not be? Lord Macbeth had this to say after being informed of his wife's suicide.
Tomorrow and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all of our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to a dusty death. Out! Out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
You are wrong, sir. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show likest to God's, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, sir, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea.
We remember now our dead, who lived, who fought, and who died, for us, for their God, and for their country. Listen now as Joan of Arc, a 17-year-old French girl turned a mighty general, rails against the shedding of her people's blood. Listen as Mark Antony mourns the evil loss of an old friend. And listen as King Henry V rallies his countrymen to defend all they hold dear. And by listening to them, in turn, listen to yourself.
Look on thy country. Look on fertile France, and see the cities and the towns defaced by wasting ruin of the cruel foe. As looks the mother on her lowly babe, when death doth close his tender dying eyes. See! See the pining malady of France. Behold the wounds, the most unnatural wounds, which thou thyself hast given her woeful breast. Oh, turn thy edged sword another way. Strike those that hurt, and hurt not those that help. One drop of blood drawn from thy country's bosom should grieve thee more than streams of foreign gore. Return thee, therefore, with a flood of tears, and wash away thy country's stained spots.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I have come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do live after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath said Caesar were ambitious, and if it were so it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. Many captives hath he brought home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambition? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupra cow I did thrice present him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says 'twere ambition, and sure he is an honorable man. But I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but I am here to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, and not without cause. What cause withhold you then to mourn for him? Brutus beasts have fled to judgment, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar. And I must pause till it come back to me.
Proclaim it. Proclaim it through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. We would not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of St. Krystal. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe in this day. He will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is St. Krystal. Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on St. Krystal's day. Old men forget, but he'll remember with advantage what he did that. Then shall our names, familiar as household words, Harry the King, Bedford, and Exeter, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few. We happy few. We band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Gentlemen of England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhood's chief, whilst any speak that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day. dishonor not your mothers. Now attest to them that you called fathers did beget you. For there is none of you so mean and base that hath not noble luster in his eyes. The game's afoot. Follow your spirits, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George!
It's not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lord the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better by the help of good epilogues. Put the case of my end then, that am neither a good epilogue, nor cannot insinuate with you in the behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering none of you hates them, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure as many as have good beards, or good faces, or sweet breaths, will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.
Our revels now have ended, and these our actors were all spirits, and are vanished in thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yes, all which it inherits, shall dissolve, and leave not a rack behind. For we are such stuff as dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended. That you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. Else the pock a liar call. So, good night unto you all. Take my hand if we be friends, and let Robin restore amends.
To be or not to be, that was the question.
Be. To be.
Be.
give special recognition to the individual that has assisted me in directing this production and who wrote all this wonderful, fine music that you heard this evening. James over here.